It's Tour Dude Dave.
Well, what did you expect for free?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Tour Dude Dave as I go to Puerto Rico and we see the Castillo de San Cristobal and Castillo San Felipe del Morro. Yeah, it's a 1-2 punch. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to start the tour and get started. Now, this here is the entrance to the Castillo de San Felipe del Morro. It's very windy, and it's that way on purpose because that way you get, when you're taking pictures of yourself in front of this fort, they look magnificent. Wind-blown hair, sunny day, sunny sky creates the perfect lighting. Oh yeah, so that's why it does that. It's perfect for you. Anyway, so when you go, make sure you take lots of pictures in front of the fort, or Castillo. Now, sometimes the best place to start is at the end. And as you see, some people here met their end. Now, this isn't the people who actually died fighting in the fort. It's just the people that actually died and were actually buried there. That's all it is. It's not, so don't think that it's everybody. Now, this here is a ramp that can take you down into the middle of the Castillo, or, kind of the plaza area. As you can see, this was before stairs were invented, so it's just a long pathway that goes down, and we're up depending on which direction you're going. Now, it's pretty amazing as you walk along the ramparts here along the top. It's quite stunning to see how large it really is and how many people you could actually fit there. I mean, it was like you could have parties up there, let alone... Maybe that's what we're doing instead, They have fireworks and then just stuff the cannons with other stuff whenever they were attacked. But anyway, that's what's great about this. Now, as you can see, the forts or the castillos, they offer stunning views. They are wonderful views. We enjoyed every second of it. Also, just another thing to note is that they are also very ADA compatible. They have the ramps instead of stairs, and notice how a lot of the walls have been shortened down for those of us that are vertically challenged. Even the little children can actually see through these stunning views without you having to lift them up. So that was one thing that the engineers of the Castillos really thought of, and I'm really grateful that they did. Now here you notice you can actually walk through the Castillo. It was pretty neat. They tunneled it out very well. It looks really neat. Now, down this pathway, this takes you to the galleons, where they held the prisoners. As you can see, there's a lot of people visiting, people that were in the galleons, Look at all the people coming out here. Yeah, so it's pretty crowded sometimes. It is a Saturday, Now, this here is the kitchen. You'll notice it's pretty small for such a large Castillo. That's because the commander's wife didn't cook much. Pretty sure that's why. Now, also, what's neat is that the commanders, they built bathrooms. You see, the commander's wife, though, of course, you know how they are. She wanted a big bathroom. She's like, please make me a nice big bathroom. He did, had tile and everything. Well, then when she had a nice big bathroom, then the soldiers were like, hey, what about us? There's 500 of us. All right, but it can't be bigger than my wife's or I'm going to get in trouble. So, yeah, he made them the same size bathroom, and it's still pretty nice, but of course it had to house 500 people. Now here you'll notice the Castillo is mainly made of stone, cement, whatever, rocks, but here there's a wood stairway made of wood. Now that was interesting because what happened was there came a time where wood became all the rage, and so the commander's wife was like, I want a wood decking. He's like, fine, the best you can get is this wood staircase that will do it. And then they put it in. It looked very nice. It was very nice, and she was happy with that. That was fine. That was just enough for her. So anyway, that's why that stairway is there. Now, you'll notice this railing along the edge here. That was built back in I believe it was the 1700s. What happened was that when the attackers came to attack the fort, they'd line up, they'd get pushed against the stone wall there, and there were so many of them, they'd end up just kind of falling off the edge here. And they were like, hey, this is dangerous. So the attackers sent a petition to Spain saying, hey, you've got to make this isn't up to code. You need a railing here, to protect us, We need some safety on our side. That way it makes it a fair fight. So Spain, they did. They invented metal and made a metal railing at that time and put it along. So the defenders were pretty happy and pleased about that. That's why that's there. Now, on the outside, you kind of look at it, and you'll notice that this is just a wide, sweeping lawn. Huge. Now, the commander had lots of sons, and anyway, when they got in trouble, they got sent out to mow the lawn. So they hated that, if you can tell, because it was so big. So they tried to never get in trouble. So he had some pretty good sons. Unfortunately, then the soldiers had to mow the lawn, and they hated it too. Finally, they decided they'll just get some goats, and that kind of helped keep the lawn in check until modern centuries. Now, here's more about that wide, sweeping lawn. Anyway, when people would attack, it's quite a long way for them to go to get to the castillo. So they'd be running along as fast as they can, charging, and then right about at this point, you see the store, they would stop and get refreshments. See, someone had set it up for the defenders to refresh themselves so they can get a drink and then finish the next charge up to the rest of the castillo. Now, I think it was the Dutch or somebody that built it. Somebody else that was attacking. They built it there. Oddly enough, it was surprising that the Spanish actually let them build that there. Maybe they gave them a portion of the tax from sales revenue. I'm not sure. But the defenders were really the attackers really appreciated it. And yeah, if you don't believe me, look inside. It actually is a store, like I told you. So that's exactly how it happened in history, if you don't believe me. Oh, and they sell kites. Now, it also has great views of the capital. Also, look at all the rocks, what they call coral as well, down by the ocean. Now, this was confusing because at the time the Spanish were saying, yeah, we have lots of corals, and people in Britain were thinking corrals. Oh man, we better not attack. They have tons of horses, but they didn't understand it was just, corrals, corals. Anyway, that made some confusion. A lot of tidbit people don't know about. Now, another thing a lot of people don't know about is back again with the attacks, was the attackers were running down this long lawn. They would be charging, and of course, again, they'd get tired. Well, the attackers had a defense, the defenders had a defense. They set up a park bench right here so that when they'd get there and they'd be tired, they'd be like, oh man, I better sit and rest. Well, little did they know it was pre-sighted and they just get shot up and die. It was quite a trick they had. Now, another thing you probably don't know is that this was actually disbanded as a castillo or fort because what happened was there were a lot of iguanas, and when the United States took over the territory, PETA kind of came along and said, hey, this is the iguanas place. It needs to be a protected thing. So they said, all right, fine, we'll make it a national park and protect them. So then they couldn't use it as that anymore. It was just, now it's a park, and it's great because we all get to see it. You probably might not believe me, but that really is the truth. The iguanas, there's a lot of iguanas here. Don't believe me, just ask this guy. Hey, are there a lot of iguanas around here? He's not answering. Oh, there we go. Yeah. See? So like, oh yeah, there's a ton. Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap up the tour today. Hope you enjoyed and learned a few tidbits you didn't know about the Castillo de San Cristobal and Castillo San Felipe del Morro. Until the next tour, this is Tour Dude Dave signing off.
It's Tour Dude Dave.
Now go get a real education.